Hello there! Today we are diving into Retrowave 2, the successor to a legendary Kontakt library, now involved into a powerful standalone VST plugin. In this video, we are going to find out if it lives up to the hardware hype. We'll explore the new hybrid engine, the FX rack, and why that built-in convolution reverb might be the secret weapon for your next production. I can't wait to try it out, so let's dive in. At its core, Retrowave 2 is a hybrid. It gives us over 9000 high-quality wave samples from legendary hardware. At the bottom left, we can activate and adjust the sampler and wave generator. We have a dual oscillator setup here. In addition to the main oscillator, we also have a bassline oscillator. We can use it to give the low end more weight and saturation. On the top right, we have a parametric equalizer. It's very intuitive and great for cleaning up the mud or adding some high-end sparkle. The plugin also offers a dedicated FX rack. We have many great options here, but what stands out for me is the convolution reverb. We turn it on, and it instantly feels like the sound is sitting in an actual 80s studio space. Over on the bottom right, we have the Arpeggiator and the envelopes. The workflow is incredibly fast, perfect if you want to stay in the creative flow without getting lost in submenus. Alright, so let's try it out in practice on this short chord progression. We can add some noise here. Let's also try out the wave generator. I love this. Turn down the volume a bit. Let's see what we can do in the FX rack. Let's try out a phaser to create some movement here. Let's also try out the delay. We can adjust the settings here, so there are many settings we can adjust in this sound effects rack. That's really nice. Let's try out the convolution reverb. I love this. We can choose from many impulses here. For the bass, I wanted something that acts as a real anchor for the track. Deep, powerful, and with that classic analog weight. I started by blending the main and sub oscillators, which gives it that solid, massive low-end foundation. To keep it from sounding too static, I added a touch of phaser at about 20%. It's subtle, but it adds a nice movement. I also ran it through the internal compressor. And I did some surgical EQ work to make sure it really sits in the mix. Now for the contrast, I needed something brilliant to fill out the upper frequency spectrum. I actually left the main wave generator off here and focused on the engine's textures. The secret ingredient is that large blade convolution reverb. It gives the sound an incredible sense of space and width. With a quick high shelf boost on the EQ, the pad just opens up and provides that expansive, cinematic atmosphere that really glues the track together. The reason this feels more like a boutique instrument than a generic synth is the selection of its sound sources. The developers went straight for the icons of the 80s. You are getting the lush analog filters of the Juno 106, the massive power of the Jupiter 8, and the unmistakable grit of the DX7. Having these distinct hardware personalities, combined in one hybrid engine, gives the pad just a depth that's very hard to find. Now let's try out the Arpeggiator. Let's shape the sound a bit. I will increase the delay to add even more movement here. Let's check out the envelopes. The low frequency oscillator. Set up the frequency here. We can also set a fade in. Let's see how we can tweak this a bit more. Let's check out how this sounds in the full mix. I'm really curious how this will sound. Yeah, so let's try it out. Another great feature is the choice between raw and mixed samples. I'll be switching between the two versions of the same preset, so you can hear the difference for yourself. Let's take a look at what EVA Instruments write about it. Retrowave 2 is the next step in the evolution of one of the most popular synthwave instruments. What once was a Kontakt library is now a standalone plugin, combining the depth of multi-sampled instruments with the flexibility of modern synthesis. To achieve authentic 80s character, we recorded and sampled legendary hardware synthesizers. The result is a collection of 129 unique presets, each built from its own sampled instrument, delivering a broad palette of instantly recognizable retro tones. New features bring Retrowave 2 beyond the sample library. 2 oscillators, standard waveforms, plus a saturated bass sign for added low-end power. LFO and HADSA envelopes. Detailed shaping of dynamics and modulation. Built-in EQ and FX rack, including phaser, delay and more, for instant sound design without external plugins. Retrowave 2 unites the best of both worlds. The immediacy of a Rumpler, packed with authentic synthwave sounds, and the creative potential of a modern synthesizer. Everything you need to craft a perfect 80s-inspired track is here, in one instrument. Retrowave 2 by EVA Instruments is a truly impressive synthesizer, capturing that authentic 80s DNA perfectly. For me, the highlights are definitely the multi-sampled hardware sources and the surprisingly deep FX rack, especially the convolution reverb. Considering the boutique hardware character you are getting here, the price point is an absolute steal for any producer. Check out the link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more mixing and mastering content. Thank you all for watching and see you in the next one.